Why have I never heard of this game until now? Hey there, nice to meet you guys. I'm Hikaru, and recently I've been sucked into the Project Moon universe. For those of you who haven't heard of the group Project Moon, they're a Korean company that's built an amazing universe across 3 primary games, those being Lobotomy Corp, Library of Ruina, and Limbus Company. The latter of which is going to be the primary content of this channel. Before I get too much into this, let me just preface this by saying, I've only been invested into this series for about 2 weeks, as of the time of this video, so if I make any mistakes, feel free to correct me in the comment section down below. I just fell in love with the series and wanted to make some content about it to become a part of the community as soon as I could. In the background, you'll see some gameplay of Limbus Company that I played through last week, and oh my gosh, I just finished Canto 4. It's one of the most amazing stories that I ever played through. I loved it. As a little bit of a background into how the series is structured, between all the games, they all share one universe, and the events of each game happen in the order that was previously mentioned. So, the events of Library of Ruina happen directly after Lobotomy Corp, and Limbus Company happens right after Library of Ruina. And I've come to accept the fact that I won't be able to complete the first 2 games, because they are extremely difficult and time consuming. But for those of you who do have the time to sit down and enjoy the series, I highly recommend that you do so. Both games are pretty unique and have their own combat systems and have incredible stories to tell. I've come to accept the fact that I won't be able to do all the meltdowns in Lobotomy Corp, and that would take way too much time to finish Library of Ruina in a couple of streams. So I watched a summary of the first 2 games after playing them for about a week each. Before I started Limbus Company, there were 2 major videos that caught me up to speed. The first one is the entire story of Lobotomy Corporation video by 8-Bit Hypocrite, and the other one is a brief summary of Library of Ruina so you can play Limbus Company, which has 2 parts to the videos, by Wordsmith Vids. Those videos are amazing and of very high quality, higher than anything I probably am able to produce at the time, so I highly recommend that you check out those if you want to get into Limbus Company and simply don't have the time to play through these enormous games. I wanted to start Limbus Company a bit early because it's a gacha game, and I wanted to get a head start on collecting anything exclusive or limited that I could get my hands on. Things like stocking up on Encephalon modules or Battle Pass completions were also important. I've come to find out though that most things in this game are acquired relatively easily because of how generous they are with the free or pay currency, which is called lunacy. And I've come to find that a majority of things in this game are not exclusive to any time restrictions. Even the Walpurgis events, which are supposedly the most exclusive events, will have the IDs in the dispensary, which will become available eventually after the next Walpurgis, which happens every 3 or 4 months, so I hear. If I were to try to sell you on one thing to play Limbus Company, I would say definitely just try to play for the story if not anything else. Get invested into the story because it is amazing. The level of depth that the stories go into are super deep and super interesting. I feel like I'm reading a novel or like reading a manhwa. I would get into this just because I felt the universe was so compelling and fun, and I felt like I always wanted to know more about the game. The sinners are actually so funny and intriguing, the city is chaotic, and the abnormalities are actually so cool. Think of like SCPs, but anime, and more interesting. At first, Limbus Company seems a bit complicated, and to be fair, it kinda is. The tutorial, like other tutorials in a lot of other games, isn't super well fleshed out and isn't super new player friendly because of how many different mechanics there are in the game. If you look at one of the new character IDs that came out for Heathcliff, his description is literally pages long. I was pretty confused about this game to start with, but I plan on making a couple of quick guides in the future about things that I struggled with as a new player, so hopefully that some of the new people who come in watching this video will avoid some of the same pitfalls that I ran into. And hey, maybe Project Moon can take some of the feedback into account someday if they ever wanted to, I don't know, update their tutorial or something. And I'm grateful to those who have attended the live stream to help teach me a thing or two about how this game works. Again, I'm pretty new to the game, so if I do say anything wrong, I do apologize, and I hope to improve my experience and the experience of others to help them get into the community. This video was to serve as kind of an introduction for myself, as well as to tell you guys that I'll be streaming on this channel quite frequently to do a deep dive into the Project Moon universe, as well as to play some Limbus Company. and hopefully to make some new friends as well. It's been an absolute pleasure meeting everyone who stopped by so far. Until next time, thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.